Good morning, Morgan. You're not going to like what I have to say next.
Holy crap, this has been my first review in a long time. Oh, it's still more than what Angry Joe's made recently, right? Whatever. Arkane already made a decent spiritual successor to Thief, though, with Dishonored, before totally screwing that up with Dishonored 2. Now they try and make a decent spiritual successor to System Shock. Did they do it? We'll let Daniel Bryan answer that question. I will say it now, Prey is only behind Breath of the Wild for my best game of 2017. It should most definitely stand toe-to-toe and right next with all the other top games and possible Game of the Year shows that will inevitably come out at the end of the year. Now, is the game perfect? Hell no, it is not. The game's quote-unquote horror themes get old very quickly, and the only thing that'll scare you in this game are jump-scaring mimics, and now that again will get old very quickly, and maybe a well-mixed audio scream here or there. Now, I live in a crappy neighborhood though, so whenever I hear something like that, I automatically think it's coming from outside, so it's not really helping do the game any favors there. Prey also is very slow in the first couple hours, and you will die a lot in the first couple hours of this game in your first playthrough. This does end up playing in one of the best things about this game though, and that's its progression, but we'll get more on that in a little bit. Anti-gravity sequence is also a real pain in the dick in this game, which should be one of the most epic, cool things about Prey. Ends up being very, very annoying due to how easy it really is to get lost outside. The game has nav markers, but whenever you're outside the station, it's kind of a crapshoot on if they're going to show up. Combat also can be very, very frustrating in the anti-gravity sequences due to how easy it is for you to get spun around and disoriented, since you can actually spin around and like flip around basically however you want. Whenever a side quest just ends up telling me to go outside the station, though, it's a real deal breaker just because I know it's going to take way longer to do that than really do anything else. I just don't want to deal with the headache. This probably is also more on me, but I hate how many keycards there are in this game. You will have to Google keycard locations at least once or twice during your inaugural playthrough of this game. And another possible negative could be the game's ending, but I don't want to discuss that at length here, because it is very, how should we put it, questionable. It's very risky how this ending is done. So I'm going to have a whole nother video dedicated just to talking about this game's ending and going into deep detail what I think of it, think about it. The short version though, I kind of dig it, but again, it's not amazing. Moving on to the good things about Prey though, and there are many. The previously mentioned progression is so awesome. One of the most rewarding things to do in Prey is to come up from behind on some phantoms and just blow their brains out with a sneak attack shotgun shot. After you level up, your shotgun's damage a lot as well. It's also awesome to use recycling charges to suck up a ton of Typhon. Well, those are the aliens in this game, I haven't mentioned that yet. And turn them into crafting materials. On that crafting side though, you can basically craft anything you need in this game at a fabricator. Assuming you have the fabrication plan for them, that is. You can craft every weapon in this game, ammo for all those weapons in the game, neuromods, which essentially are what level you up in the game, even though you need to do a side quest to make all of those neuromods infinitely. You can make recycling charges, which do what I just mentioned. They suck up a bunch of stuff and spit out crafting materials. You can craft Typhon lures, which lure the Typhon to them. It does exactly what it says they are. You can craft med kits, suit repair kits, you name it. You can even craft wrenches in this game. All of that, though, is done by recycling random junk you find, or even your own equipment if you don't need something but you say need ammo for a gun. Combine all of that with the level of player choice you have with leveling up, researching Typhon to discover new psi abilities, and yes, that is ripped straight from System Shock, and the many different paths to complete any different given objective, and you're messing with Deus Ex levels of player's choice in Prey. And I haven't even talked about the story yet. The story in Prey is chock full of philosophical themes, where to draw the line between right and wrong, and you may even consider enemies allies and allies enemies by the end of the game. It's definitely what you'd expect from this Deus Ex System Shock style of game. If you want spoilers, I do talk about the story a little more in my video on the game's ending, but trust me, it will not disappoint you at all. So in conclusion, I fucking love this game. It took me a while to warm up to it though, and that actually isn't due to the game's anything with the game really at all. The game runs at a measly 30 FPS on Xbox One and PS4, while on my PC it runs over 100 FPS and barely drops frames at all. The optimization this game has on PC is second to none. If you have a solid modern PC, definitely get Prey on it. It begs to run at a high frame rate when the action picks up, and the modern consoles just cannot hack it right now. Maybe the Xbox One X can, but not the base Xbox One. I do see a lot of people calling this game BioShock in space though, but trust me when I say this, no, it's not BioShock in space. It's better than BioShock in that this game also supports stealth. It also supports much better RPG elements than BioShock did. And I also believe Prey has superior themes, a superior story, and this isn't a knock on BioShock. I just beat that game for the first time back in June, and I did enjoy it overall. But Prey just twists my nipples in all the right ways. If you're a fan of System Shock and Deus Ex and haven't played this one yet, fix that shit yesterday. I can't recommend Prey highly enough. If you want to hear more about Prey's ending, check out the link on screen. This is Jeff from Studio 41 Gaming. Oh yeah. If I can get 10 more games like this, my life will be complete.